Hey friends, here is a video walkthrough of the Unit 11 Waves review, which I assigned for you last week. All right, let's jump in. A blank is a disturbance that carries energy through matter and space. That would be a wave. The speed of the wave depends on the medium. Most waves are caused by a vibration. The letter T is the variable for the wave's period. The highest point in the wave is called the crest. The lowest point of the wave is called the trough. The height of the wave is called the amplitude. And the distance between two similar points on the wave is called the wavelength. Oops. On the bottom here, the time for a cycle, that's known as the period. I was confused. I didn't read the directions, but it says period will be used twice. Got it. And then the frequency is the amount of cycles per unit of time. What is the equation for the speed of a wave? Speed is frequency times wavelength, so letter C. What Greek letter do we use for wavelength? That would be D. The letter is lambda. On page 2. The equation for frequency. Frequency is 1 over period, so we'll go with A there. Label the parts A, B, C, D of the wavelength. The wavelength is C. The crest is A. The trough is B. And the amplitude is D. Type of wave shown above, that would be a transverse wave because the wave goes up and down, but it's moving in that direction. So it's a transverse wave. Is light this sound a type of wave? Light or sound this type of wave? Okay, so that'd be light. Sound is a longitudinal wave. At what points is the maximum particle vibration on the wave above? The point where it's maximum particle vibration is the top part, the amplitude there. And then when there's no vibration, that would be here where it's at the midline. What kinds of waves need a medium to travel through? That would be mechanical waves need a medium to travel through. The type of wave that has its energy move perpendicular to the direction of wave, we call that a transverse wave. What kind of wave is sound? Sound is a longitudinal wave. What kinds of wave is on a football game? That'd be transverse. You stand up and the wave goes around the stadium. And then what kind of waves do not need a medium to travel through? That would be electromagnetic. And that's the kind of wave that light is as well, electromagnetic waves. I missed something? Oh, light is what kind of wave? Got it. Electromagnetic, B. Blank is the combination of two or more waves. We call that interference. We don't need to worry about 25, sorry. Give an example of a situation where you want resonance. We don't want 26 either. I think I'm doing the wrong thing. Okay, sorry. We don't want to do number 25 or 26. Sorry about that. For 27, an object approaching you will have a higher frequency. An object going away from you will have a lower frequency. For a spring, this is what we call a longitudinal wave. So the wavelength is the distance between two similar points. That's A. The compression is B, where it's closest together here. And a refraction is where it's furthest apart. That would be C. That wave is a longitudinal wave. The wave goes in the direction of the particles. Is light or sound this wave? That'd be a sound wave. Looks like that. At what point is the maximum particle vibration? The maximum particle vibration is here at C. When the crests of two waves meet, this is called constructive interference. There it is there. And when the crest of one wave and the trough of another wave meets, that's called destructive interference. They start to cancel each other out. Sammy is listening to her favorite sound wave. It's at 400 hertz. What's the period of this wave? So the equation, the triangle for that, that's the worst triangle ever, sorry, is frequency equals 1 over period. So if you want to solve a period, it's just 1 divided by frequency. So you just take 1 divided by 400 hertz, and you end up with 0.0025 seconds. John measures that it takes away 0.0039 seconds to complete 1 cycle. What's the frequency of this wave? Okay, frequency is equal to 1 over period. Frequency is 1 over period. Period's given on to us. That's the time it takes for 1 cycle, so 1 divided by 0.0039 gets your answer. And I got 256.4. And this is frequency, so frequency is hertz for your label. A physical science class made ceiling tiles resonate at 78 hertz. What's the period of this wave? So 78 hertz would be the frequency, and you want period, so period equals 1 over frequency. Period is, the frequency is 78, so just take 1 divided by 78. So it takes 0.013 seconds for a wave to go by. A certain wave has a wavelength of 3 meters and a frequency of 125 hertz. What's the speed of this wave? Speed is velocity. Velocity is frequency times wavelength. So I'm solving for speed. Just take frequency times wavelength. So that would be 3 times 125, and you end up with 375, and that would be meters per second for the speed. Sound moves through the air at a speed of 343 meters per second. If the frequency is 20 hertz, what's the wavelength? Again, you can use this. Wavelength is equal to speed over frequency. So 343 divided by 20 hertz gets us to 17.15, and this would be wavelength, so the label would be meters. The wave is traveling at 100 meters per second, has a wavelength of 2 meters. What's its frequency? So frequency is velocity over wavelength. So frequency is velocity over wavelength. Plug it in. The velocity is 100. The wavelength is 2. And you end up with frequency being 50 hertz. Label the following on the next page. Last page. The highest energy on this is the lowest wavelength together. So highest energy, which is also shortest wavelength, short wavelength, and that would also be the highest frequency. And then on the other side, you have the exact opposite. These are the long wavelengths. They would have high energy and frequency. And based on this information above, you can see as the wavelength goes up, as we get longer and longer wavelengths here, the energy goes down. And as the wavelength goes up, the frequency also goes up. And then as the frequency goes up, energy goes up as well. There you go, friends. A short review. Bye.